Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Q&A. Today, same as every other Tuesday, except for we don't have a theme today. So if you have any questions, go ahead and hit that down at the bottom. Raise your hand there, and then we'll answer your question as we get them. Or if you don't have any questions, but you want us to show you something, or you are curious about doing, let us know. All right, we've got Christy first.
Hey, hi Tyler.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. So I was out of town when y'all had the meeting where it was talking about the customer experience, and I don't know how the portal thing works on the customer end very much. And I did have someone ask me a question today. She's a route customer, and I guess she had put in some notes in the past about some pickups or whatever. She had a history, right, of some things that she had typed into the portal. But she said she couldn't, she wanted to go back and refer to something to see if she had put something before. And she said she couldn't go back and look at the past once it's resolved. Is that how it kind of works? If it's resolved and the customer can't see that in their account anymore for their history?
Oh, okay. So are you talking about delivery notes or are you talking about issues or
Right, like
something to
she
do with a
will
specific order?
something to do with a specific, like, she would send us something saying, hey, can you, I just opened my thing, there's a spot saying I'm going to send it back for a redo, things like that. And, just back and forth about her orders. And it's in her history, but she can't see it from her end. I can still see it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think that the customers can see it on their end. I think that's only for our side or the POS side looking at notifications and issues like that. If anything, they may be able to see the contact log, but I don't think that they can even see that because it would basically be their text messaging or email service that would have all that information, if that makes sense.
Right. So she should be able just to refer to her past text history with the portal, and she should see that because it shows up as a regular text message on her phone, right?
Right. Yep, exactly.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. Oh, but the video from last week is also on our YouTube channel, which would just be Smart Systems. And we post
Okay.
all of our videos weekly on there. So if you miss some week, that's fine. We post them on there.
Great. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. Let's go over Phyllis. Phyllis, can you tell us more about the loyalty program? Are you mentioning like rewards program? And if you're currently using it or if you're looking to use it and what you're trying to do with it? It may help if you can get into the actual call with us, and then we can probably go further over that. All right, let's go to Jay.
My question is pretty much the same as that, the loyalty program. How is that used? How do we utilize that? What is, I want to use it, but I don't know what's going on, how to use it.
Yeah, so really, it's what you would like to accomplish with it is really what I would ask you.
Primarily I want to offer, like rewards, I have a few customers come in over the past years. Do you offer a rewards program, things of that nature? And no, I don't. I know I have the ability, but so if I can implement something like that, I think that'd be a win for me anyway.
Okay, yeah, the reason I ask that is sometimes people interpret it differently, and they turns out that they actually want to do a promotion base where rather than doing an actual rewards component to their company. Um, let's see. But essentially, you would set it up to where, let me see if I can pull open. Okay. All right, we'll get it pulled up real quick. Okay, so from here, you can find this page by going to your settings, then business settings, system settings, and then going over to the rewards program. I know that was a little quick, but here, obviously, if you aren't doing it, you have this disabled. But here you're going to put in your dollar value and your reward points conversion. Like 1 to 1. Right. So setting one of those to 1 would be the best. And then you're going to put in your conversion amount as in your total that you want it to redeem each time they hit that amount. If that makes sense.
So when
every
they
time
hit that $250 mark, that am I saying that right?
Yeah, yep. Then they would get, so if they did 250, it'd be $250, and then we get a $25 credit that they could redeem, or you can automatically redeem it, and then it wouldn't expire on them.
It will you can set it up to automatically do that.
Yep, correct. Yep, there's that box right there.
Okay.
Automatically isn't super recommended, Jay, just because you kind of want to make your customer work for something. Rewards program, you're really giving your customer money for already doing business with you. So there's not really an incentive because they're already showing up to drop things off. So people are a little weary about rewards programs these days for that reason. So a lot of people, make their customers actually click the button in their email to apply the rewards. You can also track the rewards right on the customer's profile. When you enable the rewards program, it adds an extra tab on their profile. So CSRs can track it. And also, like, let's say you have an elderly customer that doesn't like to use their phone, CSR can redeem that reward for them when they come in.
Okay.
Does that answer all your questions, Jay? I think we just muted him.
There's also probably a learning center article about it.
All right, let's go to Marlene.
Hi, everybody. Can you go take me through notes? When I create a note for a client, I feel like I have to go to many different places in SMART. If I'm reading a note and then I want to generate a new note, I end up going out of SMART, back to the client's name, opening that up, going to the notes button. But if I'm already in notes, reading a note that somebody's put in before, is there a shortcut?
So I don't think there's really a shortcut for it, other than if you had already an open order and then you could scan something to take you directly to the order that you wanted to put a note on. Same thing with a customer if you used a bag tag or something like that. Or if the only other thing that I can think of would be if they actually had an issue, whereas they sent in a message to you and then you saw the notification pop up in the top right, the notifications. That would be the quickest way to get to somebody's account for issues and issues tracking.
Right, but when I'm in that, something pops up and there's a note and I want to respond, I find sometimes that I have to go back to their profile to get in to make a new note.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I don't think there isn't a fast way to do that. I think that is just the standard way to do that.
Okay, and I think I asked this of Mike a couple of weeks ago. I have a new client. I want to create, I want to send them a statement. They want to know what things are going to cost before we proceed. And I always get jammed up in your system where create an invoice comes up with 0.
Oh, okay. So one thing to remember is that statements are based off of what's in AR or what's in the AR date.
Okay.
So
So up on the
you're
top, up on the top, you have open invoices. So I would consider that to be an open invoice because we haven't done anything with it yet. Is that correct?
right. Yep. Yep.
Okay. So open invoice, are we looking at created date and open orders, or it actually defaults to AR open orders?
Yeah, so if you're trying to do something, I would choose create a date. I generally always do create a date in
Okay.
all orders whenever I'm creating open invoices for
Okay.
anybody. Just because you know when it was created, or it was probably
Mhm.
created this week, and you're trying to get them out what it would look like for them. This would be the best way to do that, because then it would get all open orders and closed orders, regardless of if
Got
it's
it.
in
Okay.
AR or not.
That worked. Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Have any other questions for us right now?
I did want to say to Marlene though, hey Marlene, it's Chris. So when you're talking about when you're in the notification, and this is about your notes question. When you're in the notification center and a customer sends something in and you say view message, right? You're talking about when it gets that pop-up screen and you want to do a new note or another note. If you click that button in the top right that says show all issues, when you click view message, it'll take you to that notes add note screen and you don't have to go back out into the customer.
Can you show me on your screen what you're
I
talking
sure
about?
can.
Okay. And the other thing is how do you get something to pop up in a CSR's face before they even touch the order? I have pick up today, we put the date, and then if somebody looks at that pop up, well, I create it by going create a delivery and then special service so that it comes right up. I mean, that's what they showed me to do. But if there's a better way where it stays there until you get rid of it, but go ahead, let's do this issue first.
Okay. So like for example, the messages or the notifications come through here. We hit view
Mm-hmm.
message.
Mm-hmm.
We get this screen. If you click this show all issues button, it's going to
Mm-hmm.
take you basically here where you can add the other note right away
Okay,
versus
got it.
backing out. Yep.
Okay. All right, I tried that. That's good. Now, a client schedules a pickup. That we put the note in the pickup for the driver. It'll be on the porch, and then the cleaning instructions go on the note on the pickup slip.
Mm-hmm.
But we also want to make sure that the CSR sees those instructions in a note that pops up in their face.
So we have a note type that creates a pop-up when the CSRs open up the customer's account. So for example, if so most of your delivery type notes are probably only specified to show in certain places. You can add that alert type to those already existing delivery notes, for
Oh,
example.
okay.
And then it will prompt it to pop up on the customer's account screen because it's an account note. So essentially what needs to happen is it needs to become an account note. That account note will then pop up when the account is open. So that way
Can
when
you
the
show
CSR,
me on the
yeah.
screen? Because all I see is a big C for Chris.
Let's see. Do. So, so from your home screen, if you go into settings, detailing pricing, and then this alert subtypes are where we keep the
Wait,
actual
I didn't
notes that
see
you
that.
guys use.
Okay, going too fast. Go back.
Oh, so once you go into settings, you'll go into detail and pricing.
Okay.
And then in detail and pricing, you'll see where it says alert subtypes.
Yep.
And then in alert subtypes is where they keep all the note types or the preset notes. So you'll see like account and contact, and it's going to show in the delivery app, and it tells you where it shows and where you should see it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a note to pop up on the account that was entered, like a delivery instructions or anything like that, then you would create it here. And then that account and contact note type is going to make it so that it populates. So anytime that they create a issue or a note in the delivery app and they select the
Mm-hmm.
specific one or version of it, then it should be able to show up as an account and contact note. I believe there's one more step after this, but I will send you an actual detailed instruction on how to do it. So I'll send it directly to you.
Okay, that would be great. And that note is gonna pop up as soon as a CSR opens up that.
The account.
Wow,
Mhm.
I've been using this Smart since 2016, and I just learned something new.
Hey, is that last step that you're looking for, Chris? Is that the show in for customer close
Yeah,
tracker?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
what it
makes it
is.
pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, send me the instructions because I'm looking at all these things. I didn't even know that they were there. So, like new customer, the driver should know it's a new customer. And so should the CSR. So, okay,
Yep.
very good. I like the question about the photographs. I think I asked you this a couple of weeks ago and how to take multiple photos.
Oh, it's the same way with the notes. Like if you add a note, you can take multiple pictures. Obviously for the garment itself, it takes one photo and it holds that photo to the. But if you attach a order note or item note or anything like that, you can add as many photos as you need to in the note section.
All right, perfect. Jay, I think you had your hand up. All good?
There we go. It wouldn't let me unmute for some funny reason.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, can I get those instructions too on those notes? Can I get a copy of those notes too for that? The instructions?
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. Yep, we can probably
Yeah, because
put
that's
it in the
very
Learning
useful
Center.
for me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah.
So since there's a pause in questions, I just thought I would remind everyone that we're hosting a webinar on Thursday, which is going to be a tour of our marketing module. We're going to show both how to use smart campaigns, smart broadcasts, and smart reviews, what they look like, but then also results you can get, and things that our actual users have been doing. So I would definitely recommend you joining if you haven't yet seen the marketing module, which is actually in Smart, and you'd like to get a look. So if you can't join, that's okay. We'll post the recording, but we will be doing some Q&A during that. So it's a great opportunity for everyone to attend and ask their questions.
All right, looks like we got River, and then we'll go back to Marlene.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
I was just wondering how to add a KPI to my personal dashboard. Say I have it made up already. I just want to put it on my dashboard.
Yeah, perfect. So what you'll want to do, and actually I can share this. So you'll want to start here with settings and then go to employees. As long as you have access to this, you can continue. And then you'll click on the employee that you're looking for. Go to the admin tab. And then here where it shows personal KPIs, you can put in whatever KPI that you want or whatever one you just made. Click enter, auto saves, and then you can just back out. Then it may take some time to actually populate. You may have to refresh a couple times, but then it should populate into your personal KPIs.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, let's go over to Marlene.
Okay. So I wanted to go back to notes and clients and CSRs. So we schedule a pickup for a client. They have very specific instructions. Right now, what we do is we go to notes, and we'll hit the customer's name, Jonathan Orlando. Then we go to notes, add a note, which is now we're at 3 clicks. Then we go to select a category. We go to delivery and pickup, which is 5 clicks. Then we go to select an issue, which is 6 clicks. And we go down to the bottom where it says special delivery requirement. It's not really a special delivery requirement, but we want to tell the CSR, hey, CSR, on March 3rd's pickup today, 2025, there are repairs. Please be looking for tailoring repairs, blah, blah, blah. So, and then we save that. Then when that CSR goes, the driver comes in, we get the quick receipt, she scans the quick receipt. That yellow note comes up over there. Can you see it?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So is there a way to have that note come up right in the middle? Because if I look at this now and then go out of it and someone else goes in after, I believe that note is no longer there. Let me
Yeah.
check.
So a couple things. So
Oh, wait.
right where,
Hold on. Let's take it back. Because when I closed it, there it is. Okay. But that
okay.
doesn't always come up in the center of the screen. So go ahead, tell me.
Yeah, so that was the same thing that Chris just explained previously, is to make sure that the show in customer close tracker is underneath that specific note type or issue type. And then the other thing that I wanted to make sure that I was understanding is that you're only wanting this for not permanent notes, but specific to this route
Today's
or
pickup.
this stop today. So you want to make sure that those are on the actual delivery notes or delivery instructions for that stop and not just on the customer's account, if that makes sense.
Yes, I want it in two spots. I
Right.
wanted to make sure that we hit an address, and what happens is sometimes we miss them. And it doesn't make sense to me to put it in a delivery requirement, because now that it's on the screen, it's actually a CSR's responsibility to be looking at this, and she's now detailing the order when it came in. So the driver, it doesn't mean anything to the driver. So anyway, I think it's a little confusing
Hey,
to
Marlene,
us.
it's Gina. I'm not sure if this will help you too, because like if it's kind of just supposed to be a temporary note where,
Mhm.
it's only this one time, I would hate to do all of those button clicks, and because like we just said that makes a permanent note. So like now someone has to go and delete it, or if they don't delete it,
Correct.
it could be 2 years old. That's ridiculous.
No
I
one
don't
does it
know.
except for
Yeah.
me.
I don't know if this will help you. If you click on the customer's name, and you go
Okay.
right to their delivery tab, they
Uh-huh.
have all their stop history right here. So if there's something very specific you need to put, you can just click on the specific, oops, hold on.
Yeah.
You can click on the specific stop here, and then you have
Mhm.
driver and cleaning instructions down here.
Right. They use that. This is just a double,
Oh.
it's just make sure everybody sees this, because we've missed it.
Yeah,
Sometimes
okay.
they don't read, sometimes the quick receipt gets lost.
Mhm.
Sometimes they don't read it. This is to kind of back up the backup. So
Yeah. A lot of times software battles with just standard operating procedure. It's like we want to make the software be bulletproof, but
right,
sometimes you need training too. So yeah,
right,
I hear
right.
you.
Yeah. So and I'm the one that deletes all those messages.
Yep.
I'll see 50 of those stupid things, and I'm like, everybody, you can do this.
Yeah,
I try
I
to
was
keep
the
it,
same way as you, Marlene, when I ran
yeah,
a plant.
try and keep a tidy house.
All right, awesome. Currently, that's all the questions that we have right now. So again, if you are just now showing up or you haven't been here in a little bit, go ahead and hit that react button down on the bottom, or reacts, and then click the raise hand symbol, and then we can get your question. Looks like we've got Brian.
Hey, Tyler, just a question about transfers. We've been getting an influx of people who bring in either like their wives or girlfriends or whatever, husbands' clothes that are under accounts. Right now, we just create a new order on the person's clothes that they have and then do the transfer over. Is that the most efficient way to do it?
No, that is one way to do it, but that's not the most efficient way to do it. Especially if you're already creating it on an account and it's clothes specific for a couple or for a group of people. Show this here really quick. So you would go to the customer's profile. Go ahead and click the customer profile name, right? And then you'll go to admin. As long as you have the admin tab, you can do this. We're looking at switching it to the profile tab. And you would link the customer ID,
Got it.
which can be found under the profile, and scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you can see it here.
Yep.
That bottom there. Yep. So then you would just link those two together, and then that is specifically for sharing wardrobe only. So just keep that
Got
in
it.
mind.
Okay. So that's the way to do that then. And
Right,
then it
yep.
transfers without it. Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Perfect.
not technically a transfer, it's more of a sharing of clothes.
Yeah, no, but that's it fits the purpose of perfect. Okay. And that makes it much easier for everybody.
Right, yep.
I have another question if I can.
Go ahead, yeah.
Is there a way to find an average time of the time it takes for someone or for the order to come in to when the order is ready?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understand the question fully.
Like, so I want to see what's our average turnaround time for a customer, right? So, hey, a customer drops it off on Tuesday at 12 o'clock. It's ready at Thursday at 12 o'clock, and then it has like a 48-hour time to ready. I don't know if that's the proper terminology or not. But I'm just trying to see like how long what's our average, either by day, week, or whatever. What's our average turnaround time to get an order completely ready?
Hey, Brian, it's Gina.
Hey, Gina.
Kind of off the top of my head, I'm just thinking, I don't know if Smart will exactly calculate that for you, but we can definitely give you either one or two different KPIs that you could export probably into an Excel sheet that could easily do that math for
Do that
you.
for it? Okay.
Mhm. But if anyone else has any ideas, please.
So yeah, I guess from a KPI perspective, you just create all orders with the create time, then order ready time. Does
Yeah,
that make sense?
exactly.
And then in Excel do the calculation to myself.
Yeah, find the difference in days or hours, so to
2
speak.
hours. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you. Perfect.
Hey, Brian, I wanted to actually follow up on your question about average turnaround times. I've thrown together a little KPI. It doesn't spit out explicit numbers, but it sort of gives you a visual assessment. But before sharing my screen, since it's your data, I wanted to just make sure it's okay with you. It's only ready dates and due dates. That's all we're seeing on the table. But if you're okay,
Yeah.
I'll share that and show you what it
Yeah,
looks
you
like.
can share.
Okay. All right. Yeah, give me a quick second here. Okay. So what I've done here is I've made an orders KPI. I threw a single filter on it just for a created date, last 30 days over here. And then I grouped it by created date, daily, and ready date, daily. And so what I get is kind of a grid that shows me where your due dates compare with your ready dates. So for example, along this diagonal, that's where you have essentially a same day turnaround. So like this 3 here, it was created on the 1st of March and ready on the 1st of March. So above that diagonal line is where the bulk of your orders are. The larger numbers here, like this 30, 30, 40, 32, that's going to represent sort of your average. And just eyeballing it, it looks like your average is about 2 days. So if you need a specific number, you'd still need to export this data and do a little, simple math on it. But just to get a rough idea, you could do something like this.
All right, so let me make sure I'm looking at this. So an order came in on 3/1, or an order that came in on 3/1. 3 of them were orders same day. 24 of them were ready 3/3. Okay.
Well, I think you have
Is
it
that how many?
backwards. It looks like there were actually only 3 orders created on the 1st. So along the top is the created dates, and then the ready dates are along the side, the left side.
We definitely, we definitely created more orders than 3 on, it was a Saturday.
Do I have this back? No, I'm so sorry. I have it backwards. Yep, it's the rows are the created date. I apologize.
Right.
You were right the first time. Yeah. So yep, created on 3/1, readied on 3/1, then created on 3/1. 24 orders here, readied on 3/3.
Yeah, which makes sense because that's going to be the Monday, right? Sunday was the 2nd. Okay.
Yep.
This definitely,
Yep.
this
So it looks
definitely
like you're
helps.
probably between 2 and 3 days is probably your average, I would
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Cool.
think this helps. I think what I was really looking at is like some type of score, like some type of
Mhm.
KPI for me. If hey, this week we turned everything around, or our average turnaround time is, 3.2 days, right? And how
Yeah.
do we get better for that? You mean make it a team KPI type of thing?
Yeah, that's it's definitely an interesting idea. I
Okay.
don't think it's possible to create a KPI right now in Smart that will explicitly spit out any sort of like score for that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna toss that around in
Yeah.
my brain here and
And
see
if
if I can
it's
come up with some ideas for how we might implement something like that.
yeah, if it's something, if we're gonna do it the way that it is, doing it in Excel is not
Not ideal.
it's not ideal, but it's not a bad way to do it either, right? Like
Sure.
it's a pretty simple calculation in Excel once you export it out. So
Yeah.
it could be something that I just run manually. Okay.
And another thing, just for food for thought, another way to look at it is you could look at your due date rules, right? And depending on how many of them, this may be more or less complicated to do. If you have relatively few due date rules and they're pretty similar, then you can, again, sort of do a rule of thumb kind of thing. And you can say, okay, so most of my due date rules are 2 days. And then you can go to your late orders report. So usually you're going to have, I think in all agents overview, overdue is what I'm looking for. So
Yeah.
all overdue orders. So then you can see how many overdue orders you have and how overdue they are. So if you assume that you're getting everything in time except what's overdue, then you can get pretty close to your number there.
Yeah, I'm
If you
more
follow what I
looking
mean.
like we definitely pad our due dates because of the text messaging. So I don't know if the due dates
Okay.
is a good number here, right? Because like we usually give everybody 4 business days, just because they get 99% of people get text messages anyway, so most people don't really care about the due date, because they know they're going to get a text message, as soon as it's done. So, okay.
Right, I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely look into ways we might turn that into a metric that you can
Yeah.
track and watch it evolve over time too.
I think it's I mean right now the short term though, I think right now it's just getting a report set up that I can export in Excel. So okay.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if you want to put a ticket in about that, I'll be happy to take a look at it and I'll see what I can come up with for you.
You got it. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right, that was really good. All right, let's go into Enrique.
Hi, this is kind of staying with what Mike was talking about. If I wanted to change, like if our orders are, let's say, if they came in on Monday and it automatically has it by Wednesday, how could I change it to like I want it ready by Friday? Just because I want to give us like 4 days to 5 days, just because our second location takes a little bit longer than our plant production. So he was kind of doing that. I wasn't entirely sure if that the setting is where Mike was touching at.
Okay, and are you trying to do this because you kind of mentioned that your one store is slower than the other. Are you just trying to do this for one-off orders or all for just
Yeah,
one
for
store
all.
specific?
So like I do it manually because I know like how long it'll take. Like the customer comes in, I'll push it by like Friday or Saturday. But like if the other employees are healed, they'll just go automatically as the system is. I want to change it in the back end, so if like future employees like get an order, I want it to be pushed already a couple days ahead compared to just what it has it right now.
Okay, but you're trying to avoid the manual process though?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, this one might be, I might want to dig deeper into this, like actually look at your system and dig into exactly how you're doing it. Would you mind putting in a support ticket so we could just really look at it for you?
Yeah, I'll do that. I knew it was kind of minor, so okay, I'll do that. I'll definitely do that.
I wouldn't say it's minor. It's just more of something that we want to take the time to actually look at. I don't want to give you the wrong answer. I don't want to say, oh yeah, you can go to your due dates and go ahead and change it by +2 days, and but then it throws all of your days off, and somebody's not doing something properly, and it kind of messes with your system. So I just don't want to give you that information and have it be incorrect right here, and then it come back to bite you later.
Got it. Thank you. I'll definitely submit a ticket.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Hey, so I'm reading the chat here. I see, Sergio, you've got a question about your tailors and reporting for alterations. There's a couple ways. There's a couple different companies that do it differently, and it really depends on how you want to go about it. So some companies, they kind of task their tailors via the special cares. And so they have their tailors in a folder by name, and then the CSR or whoever, maybe a manager or whatever, will go through and actually label who is to do what. And so then we can use the special cares process to then pull information to see what is done and what is completed. But also at the same time, where Gina was mentioning that where people go and complete the items, if something is to be redone, right? Exactly what you mentioned. If something is to be redone, or if somebody was to click, okay, this is completed, and then have to redo it, and somebody else completes it after that, the KPI will only grab the first person who hit completed. So even if it was by accident, click completed, the KPI will only grab that person's name. So that is kind of a flaw. That's why we started using the special cares process for it.
Kind of a third option too that might not be thought of is a racking location. So you can also rack your items to your tailor's name, and it will show that it's there as well. We can create a report based off of that too. But I did not know that about the marking completed, so that's good to know. But that is a big way that people will use, because if you're already making your tailors log in and mark items completed, then we can absolutely create reports based off that. So that's just a simple support ticket.
All right. Seems like if nobody else has any questions, or don't think that they're gonna have any questions within the next little bit, we'll go ahead and throw up the feedback for today's Q&A session, and yeah, see you again next week.